From WCIA 3 Plus, with your hosts Glenn Kinley, Courtney Lane Brewer, and Tristan Thomas. This is the SEFCU Your Illini Nation WCIA 3-in-1 podcast.
To the Your Illini Nation WCIA 3-in-1 podcast. Tristan Thomas riding solo this week, and it's a busy week. We're getting close to the start of basketball season, Big Ten Media Days this week in Rosemont. So we'll be talking Illini hoops before you know it at the State Farm Center. But of course, a big matchup in football this weekend. Hard to overstate how big of a game this is. Number one Ohio State, the defending national champions, coming to town, and a huge chance for Illinois to get a marquee win, one of the biggest wins in school history if they're able to pull this one off. At time of recording, Ohio State 16.5-point favorites, so a big favorite, and they have good reason to be. They've got plenty of weapons. Julian Sayin has been good at quarterback. You got Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, two marquee receivers, an offense that's tough to stop, and a defense that's making waves. I mean, a league low 5 points per game allowed so far this season. PJ Fleck called them the best defense he's seen in 13 years. So a high bar to be set for that team, and a big task for Luke Altmaier and this Illini offense to get going, coming off that win over Purdue. Now 5-1 on the season. They've bounced back pretty well from that really demoralizing loss at Indiana, something that could derail a lot of teams' seasons, but they have been able to bounce back and get things rolling there. We've got you covered from Big Ten basketball media days. Glenn Kinley is there covering the men's and women's team. Excited to hear from them. New look rosters, of course, in this transfer portal era. So many different teams, so many different players making moves, but a fair bit of continuity back for the men's team after last year, just a totally different roster. But as we've been going on the whole football season, hearing from Brett Bielema every Monday, getting you ready for the Ohio State game, a chance to get bowl eligibility, and a chance to really solidify yourself again as a college football playoff contender after failing to do that at Indiana. Chance for a marquee win. Big noon kickoff back in town as well. Brett Bielema, you'll hear it from him, but he's hoping for a big crowd, the fans to be loud and rowdy, and we will hear Brett Bielema's full press conference on Monday ahead of the Ohio State game. But first, we'll take a quick break. You just do black again. Oh. Sorry.
Look at the screen. From WCIA 3 Plus, with your hosts Glenn Kinley, Courtney Lane Brewer, and Tristan Thomas. This is the SEFCU Your Illini Nation WCIA 3-in-1 podcast.
Yeah, do you want to X out that second clock over there? Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And when I hit insert break, it goes to black over there, and then it comes right back, and then you're on.
Okay.
So we'll do insert break one more time,
Okay.
and then just, you're back on.
Okay.
Ready, go.
So that was Brett Bielema getting ready for the Ohio State Buckeyes, the number one team in the country. And it was interesting to hear Ryan Day's thoughts about this game going into a lot of talk about his team, of course. But an interesting thing to look back on is that Indiana game. He said really they throw that out when looking at the Illinois tape. He said, hey, this is not who they are. That's not the team we're preparing for, and barely even look at it, which is interesting because that's something maybe Illinois fans have talked about, right? Like, hey, maybe this team, it was just a one-off, just a weird night. Things got out of hand in Bloomington. And maybe Ryan Day is sharing in that sentiment a little bit as well. And his team is going to be coming in confident, again, on a national stage, big noon kickoff. Illinois was able to seize that moment when Ohio State was in town, but not without a fair bit of, just uncertainty in that game. Certainly the defense is going to be challenged. Looking at the stats, it doesn't appear like, okay, Illinois wasn't able to get off the field, third down, fourth down. But when you watch the game, you're like, okay, this Illinois team really needs to get off the field and get stops for the defense. Too many times in that USC game and the Purdue game, you've seen this team really just struggle to get off the field, and allowing Purdue and really a USC in that game to put drives together and really not take care of business. Of course, you had Luke Altmaier and the Illini offense getting down the field, and David Alano getting that field goal to put Illinois ahead. But in the end, it's still in a big game like this, a step up an opponent going to have to do all you can to stop Ohio State, and all they can do in all three phases of the game. Really, we'll have you covered with our Your Illini Nation pregame show, 90 minutes to kickoff from Geese Memorial Stadium. And as always, Brett Bielema's live postgame press conference. We'll have that on all our digital channels and WCIA.com. Plenty of coverage coming up there from football season. And then before we know it, basketball season is going to get rolling. So for Your Illini Nation, I'm Tristan Thomas. Thank you for watching.
All right. So, are you gonna intro the thing?
I thought the break?
No. Yeah, like, because we gotta have 2 breaks.
Well, it was Brett Bielema and then break, and then coming back, I'm like, oh, that was Brett Bielema.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was kind of.
We just need like 2 breaks. We need 2 like, and here's a break.
Okay. So. Okay, I'll just redo that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because.
Okay.
Sorry, this is complicated.
No, that's okay. I should have been more clear. I was like.
No, you're good. Yeah, I should have been like. Okay, we'll have a quick break, and then another. Yeah. No, you're good. It's fine.
Okay. Let's laugh the clock just so you know, like, how much time you have.
Okay, I know I have like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Total. Okay. So I'll just talk for 2 minutes, break, come back, minute. Hey, well, here's what we got coming up.
Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna hit insert break and then you're gonna be right back on.
Okay. So that was Brett Bielema ahead of the Ohio State game, and certainly a big challenge for this Illinois team, who has shown the highs and the lows. I mean, certainly saw some lows in that USC game that they were able to get, and get a late win, a come from behind win that maybe didn't need to be, right, when you look at this Illinois team, because they had 2 fumbles inside the 5. They had a chance to really kind of solidify that game and get a marquee win that wasn't much of a sweat, but they made Illini fans sweat a little bit there at the end, losing the lead, and then David Alano giving them the win, and then certainly a back-and-forth game a little bit in West Lafayette at Purdue. So a challenge for this team when you talk about a big step up in competition, this Ohio State team that you just can't afford mistakes. You can't afford the struggles to get off the field on 3rd and 4th down. Your defense has got to come up with stops, probably turnovers as well. We've seen this team being able to do that, whether that's punching the ball out, making some interceptions as well. That's going to be a big key for this Illinois team against Ohio State. They've done it at the highest level. They've proved it after losing that Michigan game last year and running through the playoff, running the table, and a lot of those familiar faces back for Ryan Day and that team that is coming into this game not really looking at that Indiana game for Illinois as much of a blueprint as, hey, this is how we can beat Illinois. Ryan Day really calling that just a game you throw out, a game you say it was not Illinois' night for whatever reason, and they're going to have to improve from that, and looking at more of the other games of how can we beat this team, how do they like to do things, because that Indiana game was just so uncharacteristic for Brett Bielema and his squad. So we've got one more break coming up on the show, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, and getting ready for the Ohio State game again. Big noon kickoff coming to town, a national stage for Brett Bielema and the Illini to show what they can do, show that this is a college football playoff contender, potentially. It's going to be a big chance for Illinois. Again, more than 2 touchdown underdogs at the time of recording, but we'll see if they can pull off maybe one of the biggest wins in Illinois history. So we'll have you covered from Big Ten Media Days, men's and women's teams up in Rosemont, getting ready for Illinois basketball season. That'll be here before we know it. And then from the Ohio State game. We'll have you cover your Illini Nation pregame show, 90 minutes to kick off, and then Brett Bielema postgame press conference there as well. Facebook, Twitter as well, and have you covered throughout the game and on air, as always, on WCIA. So for Your Illini Nation, I'm Tristan Thomas. Thank you for watching.